doing that, I guess you guys could go ahead and start the introductions.
All right.
Oh, we're doing the live. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can start with your introductions. I'm gonna catch up on the questions that they asked. Completely forgot to check.
All right.
Oh, let me see. When's the next camera event happening?
So we can go ahead and start with introductions.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, bet.
Just-
Anthony Figueroa here, Figs, of course, with Team FOE.
Andrew, reporting for duty. Trying to give you guys the hottest, latest tech.
Which is
Don't play Vijx.
you see, I ain't gonna lie, that's my dark horse. That's like my underdog to take the tournament. It's gonna be low key with Jax. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have the two underdogs I have is literally like I already know I'm gonna see what Jackson top cut. I don't know who's gonna play it. I have a good feeling I'm gonna see what Jackson top cut, and then from nowhere we're gonna see a green gold tank. So I'm like, and the green gold tanks is probably gonna get eliminated by the Jax.
Yeah, Vijx is fine. I'm exaggerating. I just don't think it's gonna be the pick for this event.
I can take it off, but
honestly, I'm honestly thinking that it's either going to be Mecha or it's going to be Dark Brawley.
I can see that.
I think Red Brawley is going to get. I think Red Brawley in this weekend's event is going to be. I think it's going to get shut out.
I don't think that. I think the thing with Red Brawley is that it's just not going to show up. I think a lot of people are going to be discouraged. They're like, damn, if Andrew couldn't win with it, what makes you think I'm going to win with him? No offense to anyone, but I just think a player's mindset go, and they're going to gravitate more towards Dark Brawley because they're like, okay, cool. He's one of the best players, and the game couldn't do it with it. And they spent all that money. I could spend like half the price and get this stuff. And I think, unfortunately, that's how it's going to be. I don't think that matchup is as easy.
I mean, of the three decks, it is the one that I think is most likely to beat itself, and just because of how the pieces are just not inexchangeable. Like you need to swap from a 1 to a 3 to a 4 to a 5. Like you need a specific guy. Whereas most other decks, like even Dark Broly, like it doesn't really matter most of the time which 30k you bring out. It's just the fact that it's a 30k. Like even if you run out of one, like if you're going for a game, you're going for a game. You know, it doesn't matter. Just bring out a 30k. Whereas the other one is just like it can beat itself more. The only thing that like hurts Dark Broly is like early mills. And the only thing that like really hurts Mecha Frieza is not seeing U9 assemble, I would say. And those I feel are a lot more manageable than what can happen to Dark Broly. I mean Red Broly, because you're like creating your own life.
Right.
Like there's a lot of things that get kind of awkward with that deck. So I think that's another problem. It tends to beat itself sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the awkward things too, is that because you do have pieces, you know, you obviously have like your charge, you have your life, you have your deck, you have, you know, your ability this fan your ability to crit. So like all those are so much of a huge factor, because I don't even just watching people play the deck. You know, a lot of times they'll charge one of their pieces, and then you know they may play one, it get removed, and then they don't see another one because maybe one's in life or one's, you know, in the deck, and they just can't seem to filter through for it. So I don't like that either. I don't like the idea of having pieces like that are not like easy to grab, you know, like because there's nothing in the deck that says, oh, we'll grab this card from the drop, or you know, recur this from, you know, the drop area, or nothing like that. So it's very difficult to be able to, you know, manage reestablishing a line when you're losing so many of your pieces.
Speaking of pieces, am I the only one who thinks that 6-drop is a 4-0? I see a lot of 3-drop. I see a lot of 3 pieces.
I played the 6-drop twice in the entire tournament.
Yeah, I don't see that card come down very often, to be honest with you. Like
you kill with the unison. You always kill with the unison. Like 95% of games, -6 my unison, the game's over. I'm not even worrying about the 6-drop.
But they have people playing at none or two. Oh, I'm dead. You know, like I said, as many times as I've seen that deck in action, I barely ever see that 6-drop come down. Like it's just, I mean, if you really think about it, 30 swinging in on 30k crit, at that point your opponent's already like they're literally struggling to breathe. they've already lost
Yeah.
multiple cards out of hand. They've already sat there and watched their life get critted, and so it's like that next turn they're either going to stop you from going further up the chain, or they're going to try and deal with what you have on board. So like you're not going to want to sit there and go, all right, let me get right back into this to get to that 6-drop. Like you're just trying to get back
Yeah.
into it just to get more cards out of hand and just to apply more pressure. So I could definitely see that. I think the 6-drop. I mean, like I said, as nice as it is, that stipulation of your opponent having to be at 3 energy, some decks can manage just not going to 3 energy and still survive. So
if you know what you're doing, like yeah, you just don't charge the 3 when you don't need to, unless you're
right.
planning on killing the red Broly player. Like there's ways, and like throughout the tournament, like I could see when my opponent was playing correctly over versus when they were not, because you know you could just tell like this person has played the red Broly matchup a ton.
Right.
Like the guy I lost to definitely played it a ton. He knew what he was doing. Versus some people who didn't know what they were doing, and they're just like, yeah. Like I do think Red Broly has the highest ceiling though. I think if you win the die roll with Red Broly, you go first every game, and you know how to play the mecha matchup, it is the highest ceiling. Like by far. Like Dark Broly, as great as it is, I'm sorry, but you're dying to the Unison ultimate. Every time my ultimate that Unison, the game was over. There's no combination of cards in the deck
Nah,
that
there's not.
exists to save you from that. If that doesn't happen, you're probably gonna win. But if the Unison comes out in it ultimates, it was 100% kill rate. Like, I was like, you just
Also,
need a break.
100%
You just
super
need a break.
Kamehameha target.
No, yeah. Sorry. I did lose once. I did lose once.
Yeah, you
Because
snapped.
he was playing
100%
Super
super
Kamehameha,
Kamehameha
and I
target.
Unison
Yeah.
Ultimate after he was at 4 or less life.
Facts.
Oh, really? Damn.
Facts, dude.
Yeah. But I
That's why I
learned
had it in my main board for like it's bro. Dark Bro uses the stupid stuff like that. It's like stupid stuff like that. Blue baby stuff before I said so like blue baby stuff that just hey I'm gonna come out here and just plug it like this stupid stuff will you lose to you. That's why I say you know what in my deck I just do 4. I had 4 super Kamehamehas at first. This is before the list was out. So I'm like you know what I'm probably gonna see legends in top cut. So I took 2 out and I put 1 in for that demonic absorption. Rid of this Vegeta, but hindsight I even need it. I should just left 4 super Kamehamehas. That card is busted.
it's very
Like,
good, but
I'm saying when you need it, you need it. Man. No, but like they're not there. They'll never see it coming. Like by the time they see it coming, it's like, oh damn, it's too late. You're probably in game 2, not talking about damn, you lucky you got that super command man. I'm telling you, dude, like,
right.
Yeah, no, I mean,
like when it happens, it happens, bro. Like it's too late.
It got me good. It got me good.
Exactly.
Ultimate my Unison. This game's over. Nope.
Exactly. You see, exactly my point. I mean, it is over. It's just not over for you. It's like, bro, that's exactly why I play it, bro. I'm dead ass serious. That's
It's
exactly
true, yeah.
after a sideboard.
I got got.
Yes, because if you win game 1,
Oh, that was
like,
that was in his main board.
No, he brought it in. I think out of the sideboard.
Okay, I thought you were saying it was the main board.
Yeah, that was my sideboard too. And on the previous event, he's like, okay, cool.
I had to go second every time against him. So like, besides the game ones, but like, yeah, it was tough. It was tough. Going second against Dark Broly is not the easiest with Red Broly, but like the Unison, still the end all be all.
Yeah, rough though. We got Andrew Bowen said, are there any webcam tournaments that pay out cash and can we get a circuit going? So we're not able to do cash tournaments for the webcam events because there is no justification if certain people ask us why we're doing cash tournaments for webcam events. We can't say you guys are traveling to your local library. So that's why if you come out to the real life events, we'll give you travel vouchers. We don't give cash, we give travel vouchers. We'll compensate you for your time and the money spent coming to play at the event. But there's no justification at all. Like no matter how you try to spin it, and they're just gonna look at you stupid. Like, okay, we see what you're doing. So that hopefully answers your question. The next webcam event will be out soon. So yeah, we heard about the believe it or not, we're not all up to date on like, hey, what's going on with webcam. Today is the first time I heard that the event in Connecticut was sold out. I was literally planning on flying up there. I was asking guys in the team chat. I said, bro, flights are $45 round trip. I'm like, bro, let's go up there and get a quick W real quick. And today I heard, I guess it was sold out for a while. So probably that Sunday will be a webcam event. If not that Sunday, it'll be the following weekend. But we'll do our best to get it to you guys on that Sunday because that event was scheduled to be a one-day event. And now that it's limited, it's guaranteed to be a one-day event. So stay tuned for that. It'll probably be announced during this weekend, actually. Like, cause I'll actually be in Miami. I don't work for PPG guys. Like, that's why sometimes you see a lot of stuff and it's like delayed. I have a real job and I come back home and do this for free and like start updating stuff. Speaking of updating stuff, there's a 3-way tie for first. Thank you, Eddie StHilaire, for playing in poker last event. You were
The
a
struggle
genius, man. Because now, yeah, because now, hey, let me see if I can show you guys. Let me see if I can screen share. Because of that perfect idea, now you have Andrew and Legend right on your butt. I hope you competition, Eddie. Yeah. Let's see if I can share this bad boy. And before I show this to you, right, please do not go crazy and hit up PPG because they're gonna look at you and they're gonna say you're wrong. And the reason why they're gonna say you're wrong is because you guys tend to message one person, and that one person you guys tend to message are usually 5 to 10 people on that one account. And then they're thinking you're talking about Digimon. The other person thinking you're talking about like Yu-Gi-Oh, and they're gonna say something completely different. So if you see anything that's wrong or anything that you think is wrong, because I'm pretty sure I'm right. But if you think it's wrong, please just tag me in a comment or like message me below. It's bright, right?
The hell out of me. On my end, it is. God damn.
Oh,
Yeah,
my bad.
it's pretty bright.
Hold on. Let me see.
No, not you. No, not this man turned off the light. It's because
I almost died.
It's because it's all white. No, I'm dead.
Hold on. Let me see how it looks like over here. I can't see because it's screen sharing.
You're good. Yeah, okay. You're good. It's fine. I mean, it's viewable regardless on our. It's just go ahead. You're good.
Let me so I could just present it, make it look professional. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So right now we have Andrew, myself, and Legends for first. Christopher Reyes, I believe it's an international. Damn, I believe 4, 5, and 6 are international players. That's kind of insane. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think 7 and 8 and 9 are. That's another thing. Thank you for saying this, Eddie. I need you guys' team info. Like, if you're on a team and you're on the leaderboard and you have points, please send that information to me because that's going to help a lot when we're trying to put together team awards. And for instance, I know 7 and 8, if I'm not mistaken, and David Sublet are on, I believe, Hermit Style Gaming. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called. I think it's Hermit Style Gaming. So together, you guys would have 15, 14, plus 13. So towel that up, and that's what you guys would have just off rip. So this is 9, 10, 11, 12. You have these guys tied for 9. I broke it down. This is 1 through 8. It's going to be 9 through 16. Each column will have 8. So Grady Hughes, another, damn, it's a lot of international guys. So the whole significance of these leaderboards, right? Well, I guess I'll break it down to you guys. Well, it's going to be an announcement this weekend. Our World Webcam event is going to have X amount of players from Latin America, X amount of players from Europe, the English-speaking side, X amount of players from Europe, the French-speaking side, X amount of players from Oceania, X amount of players from Asia. I don't know how I'm going to get in contact with them, honestly. So they might not be, but I'm going to try my best to do that. X amount of players from the US. Our webcam event is going to be X amount of players. The webcam invitational is going to be X amount of players. I'm not sure if it's top 16 or top 8 yet. And from the top cut of the in real life event is going to be X amount of players. Not sure if that'll be top 16 or top 8. But the beauty of it is, let's say if it's top 16, so top 16 will get the webcam Worlds invite, but then 17 through 32nd will be alternates. So what that means is, let's say right now, right? And the last amount of players is going to be X amount from the leaderboards. So that's why the leaderboards are really important. Because honestly, if you go there and you're consistent, you may not win an event. Like, honestly, Legends hasn't won an event yet, but he's tied for first. You see what I'm saying? Because he's consistent. So if you're able to just go there and be consistent, he's tied for first, bro. Like, that's completely insane. Andrew and I both took one. He's still up there with us. So it's little stuff like that. Just you participating, you grinding it out, you being consistent once again with your decks, it'll get you there. Because right now I can guarantee whether it's top 16 for the leaderboards or top 8 for the leaderboards, currently, if it were to end today, he's in there. And he's going to get a Worlds invite off rip. So he wouldn't even need to attend a invitational webcam or invitational in real life because he's already in there. He can for the cash, but right now, if it were to end today, he's already in there. Let me see.
So question for the Worlds event is are points being provided at the event in March?
It ends at the invitationals is where it ends. The reason why it ends at the invitationals is because if you win the invitationals and we count as regular points, I don't think that'd be fair. So this is just in like regular season. That makes sense.
Okay,
It's like the regular season ends during the last. It'll most likely be a webcam qualifier in February. And then another reason why we have to make it end right then and there is because, like right now, guys, the link pre-registration is live right now. Right now, it's capped to 64. Once it gets capped to 64 again, we'll review everything, look at all the circumstances, and most likely increase it. Probably be 100 or 128, but it's going to be capped. Once it caps again the second time, that's it. The same thing with the webcam event, right? I don't think, like, this weekend, like I said, not everything's finalized. I don't want to put all the plans out there yet, but this weekend, we're going to go have a meeting. I would like to see happen for the webcam event because webcam event is all inclusive. It's not just US guys, it's other guys too. For instance, Latin America is having an event. I just did this with them. Latin America, I just gave them the link. Latin America, look, they have an exclusive event, right? Latin America's having an exclusive event on February 6th. Let's see if I can show you guys without hopefully nothing crazy popping up on my Facebook. That would be my luck. That would be my luck.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Thank God, there's nothing like too crazy. I want to say I don't want to open my messenger. I just want to find it through here. My messenger is crazy. But the reason why it's really important is because those foreign entities like Latin America, Europe, and stuff like that, for us, we get invites to the invitational. For them, their top 8 or top 16 gets invites directly to Worlds. The reason being is because not a lot of them are in our time zone, so we want to guarantee that, hey, this is not just a US-based event. It's literally actual Worlds. For us, we're in the US. If you can't join a webcam or if you can't attend a real-life event, I mean, I don't know what I can do for you at that time and point. That's you're choosing not to do it. But there's both options available. If you waited to the last minute, and now you're stuck with one option, once again, I'm sorry, but I'm not the one who procrastinated. Like, when things happen, you guys have to pre-register. I promote these events. This week is probably the first week I haven't because I started a new job. Let me see if I can get it. I'll just show you like what theirs looks like because I don't want to just put for Latin America. Hopefully this pops up. Don't sign up for the event, guys. If you sign up for the event, it will probably give you the prize pool, but you're not going to get a Worlds invite. By the way, don't think, hey, I'm just going to join Latin America because it's free, or don't think anything like that. Because I'm telling you,
savage.
And another thing is too, they're not in the same time zone as us. So like, honestly, well, can we even allow you guys to? Nah, just don't join it. Don't join it.
Latin America is the same time zone.
Latin America?
Yeah, man.
Nah. This one is the same. This right here, I was talking to the guy. I had to literally make sure.
Europe is different, but Latin America is very much the same.
Okay, but I had to make sure. I looked it up because it had to literally be.
Their seasons are different.
It had to be this specific time zone. This is Eastern time zone. So I made it match with us because whatever I had, it was something completely different. But this is the prize pool for. It's going to be Latin America. It's going to be Europe, French. Europe is broken up into multiple stuff. There's French-speaking Europe, that's their own thing. There's Europe who speaks English. There's Europe who speaks Italian. I believe that's the 3 categories Europe is broken up to. But the prize pool for them, it's up. Like, first place will get a direct invite to Worlds. And on top of that, he could come to either the in real life one or the webcam. Because once you get an invitational invite, don't forget, guys, you can cash it in for both events. But the biggest thing is don't forget to pre-register. Once they cap, they cap. If we have 500 invites, and I'm telling you, this event caps at 128 players. Please don't message me February 28th talking about, Eddie, the event's capped, and it was open at February 1st. I'm like, bro, there's like 300-400 events. 300-400 invites. There's only 128 slots. You get them. That's another reason why I don't want to just open a pre-reg link and say, all right, guys, sign up, because I want to be fair. I believe the first half who actually attended their stuff, who have invites, should have a fair shot of pre-registering right now. and the second half will open up later, but it'll allow more people to register so there's a cap. Does that make sense? This is their stuff.
So basically, I can participate, get the prizing, so I can win that round 2 buy right there, the 2-round buy.
If you join Latin America's event, I'll give you a handshake if you top. That's the price for it.
So basically,
it's a golden
anyone in the U.S. don't sign up for the Latin American event unless you're in Latin America.
Let those guys compete with their stuff.
Also, has the registration process opened for March?
For the in real life, it has not for the webcam yet.
Okay.
In real life one, it started. That one currently is capped at 64. It's probably going to be the same way for webcams. It's going to be capped at 64, and we're going to give some more time for those players who has it. Because think about this, right? If I were to open it tomorrow, the Latin America event doesn't happen until next week. What's the point of them playing? You see what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of 16th through 17th playing? Because they don't get a World's invite. They get an invitational invite to attempt to qualify for us.
Right.
So you want to give them time. So most likely, the cap is probably raised from 64 to 128 during the last event. We'll probably give them 24 hours to rest, and then we'll put it up. Hey, it's going up. You better pre-reg like right then and there. Because if it caps, that's not on us no more.
And
like,
where's the link? Can we find the link on the PPG event site or?
The Pro Play Tour site itself.
Okay.
We got our boy Figs giving us some more points. Ooh,
Figs coming in with the assist.
I literally only done 2 events, and the first one I whiffed. So. And the second one I still whiffed, but not as bad. So.
I had a complete donut the last one, bro. Now Andrew and Legends is literally right on me, bro. Like that's bad.
At least I got some points.
But is there a prize for first? I don't think so, right?
Player awards.
We're just playing for the clout, for the great clout.
Player awards. You can't argue.
I mean,
hey,
clout.
You can't argue. Hey, X player with 0 points should be player of the year award when you see clearly there's like that's the old one before. Just in case you guys are like, hey, this is not the points. I keep them all. I don't just like update it. I keep them all. I could go back and see, hey, did I add you from last time and stuff like that. So that's how it is. I literally started
Damn, so I can't get the player award if I only got 5 points. Dang.
I mean, you could talk to Legends or Andrew, or like, nah, you snap.
But yeah. I'll have to see if they can donate some points to me real quick.
And then they're gonna have to talk to all these guys in order. All these guys. The same thing with team awards. That's why I tell you guys, make sure you give me your team names because if 1, 2, and 3 are on a team, that's some serious points right there. You see what I'm saying? Like, make sure if you're on a team, let me. Oh, I forgot. Rietze right there giving us some points too. So make sure you guys letting us know this stuff. So this is this. I'll probably post it tomorrow. So I'm just gonna fly through this real quick. And here's all this points and your invites. Invites do pass down, guys. Like I said, do not blow up PPG's page if you don't see your name. Listen to me. Do not blow up their page if you don't see their name. I'm telling you right now, just tag me in a comment or something. I post these. These are all the invites. Like right now, right? I could guarantee it to you. For 64 slots open, I could guarantee it to you where there's more than 64 invites. So
yeah, I haven't even signed up yet, so that's why I was asking.
Are these locked? These invites are locked in for the. These are for the IRL event, right?
So your invitational invites you can use for both in real life and webcam, not either or, for both. They're good for both. I'm gonna repeat that again. They are good for both. So don't think, hey, you see A, B, and Z sign up for in real life, so that means I got 3 slots guaranteed open. Like, no, A, B, and C could sign up for both in real life and the webcam events. Like
I like that. I like that a lot.
And if you top any of these qualifiers, top 8 or top 16, whatever the top cut is.
So far, it's been top. So we adjusted it, right? So that's another thing. We need 9 more players to get top 16 from Miami this weekend. So we adjusted it to fit COVID, right? Instead of whining, complaining, all that good stuff, you got to improvise, adapt, and overcome. So the way we did that was it's at least 50 players during this COVID time. Top 16 will play it out. Yes, realistically, you need 129 players to get top 16, but it's COVID, man. You know what I'm saying? Improvise, adapt, overcome. I can't repeat that. Improvise, adapt, overcome. You put it together. So you get 50 players minimum. Should also be in this event page. Yeah, 50 players. Everything's right here. 50 players minimum. Get to play out top 16. It's right then and there. I mean, 16 points will go up. You see what I'm saying?
That's for this weekend,
now
right?
I believe that's for any of our in real life events.
Oh, for any in real life event. Okay.
So for any in real life events, if you get at least 50 players, top 16 will play it out. So 16 points will go up. And that's an incentive because you don't want to be like, hey, I'm going to go into the event when they only give out 8 points because realistically you need 129 players to get 16, top 16, right? So we know it's due to COVID. The most the story was going to hold this season anyway was 100 players. So we got all this and improvise it for you guys. So that's obviously the payouts.
So moving forward, I know the last event it was top 8. For top 8 was provided invites, right? Is that going to be something that is going to continue to be top 8 for the webcam events?
Last event you talk about for the webcam?
Yeah.
That Saturday.
The last
top 16 got invites. I got you.
Oh, did they? Okay.
So for all the webcam events, it's been top 16, right? So this is that's the first Miami. That's the one Andrew won. This right here, guys, is the only event Red Broly won. I don't believe it. Like out of all our events, this is it. that's a shocker.
Where was that at?
That was in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
This is Rietze. I said gamers. Kitchen table games. This is the one I wanted to go to so freaking bad. But Andrew said I think Andrew was Andrew was out of state in Tennessee, and the other one was in Columbia. I'm like, bro, y'all slaying me right now. I didn't want to go there. Yeah, and I think Jonathan was like, I think Jonathan was in Columbia. I'm not trolling. Really? They both were out of state. I'm like, bro, no trolling. I called both of them. I literally called both of them. I'm like, bro, I don't want to drive 4 hours across state by myself, bro. That is neg. I told them in the group chat, I'm like, bro, this Dark Broly deck is titty. They're like, no, it's not. No, it's not, bro. Dark Broly wins the event. I'm like, oh, okay. Now you got to believe me, B. But then, all right, so this is the only thing, right? It was the first webcam event, so I want to give some hype behind it. A lot of people get upset, but guys, you got to realize I promoted it this way. A lot of people complain, but once again, even for the people who did not want to read the event, there was a banner that said top 16 U.S. players will get their invites, and top 16 international players will get their invites. They're literally right there on the picture. Because I know people are not going to read the event, right? And then in the event page itself, as even more incentive because it was the first webcam event. And I wanted to say, hey, you know what? Thank you guys for bearing with us because there'll probably be some mistakes. It's our first webcam event. If we get, I believe, 64 players, I will guarantee 17 through 30-second invites. Guys, you have no idea how in trouble I got with Machado for that, bro. But I had you guys' back, and I gave it to you. But once again, this was for one specific event because what happened was I completely forgot, and he was kind of right, that if it's realistically top 16 U.S. players and top 16 international players going to top 32 with pass downs, that's damn near 64 players are getting invites. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, literally, if you're like 50th, I believe you got an invite, bro. So if you didn't get your invite on this event and you're like, well, I'm going to join the next webcam, that was not the case. And then for the people who did not want to read, even on the picture, it said top 16. It didn't say U.S. It didn't say they're not top 16, period. The only thing you're not able to tell is if it was someone that was international because, like, not international, someone already had your invite because you just didn't know. But we do know. I track everything. But this was the top 16 U.S. players that were passed down because I had my invite. Legends had it. A lot of people had it. Robert Rietze had it. A lot of people had their invite.
This was the event I super whiffed, and I think I got like 40-something places and still got my invite.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another reason why I tell people all the time, play it through. Like, literally, you never know a guy. Literally, play it through. Because you could be playing an event that said top 8, and all of a sudden you drop, and it's like, oh, by the way, you know what? We feel bad. It's just we're going to cut it short. It's going to be top 16 because we're only like 3 players short. You're like, whoa, I would never drop. Well, I didn't tell you to drop. Play it out. I always recommend players. Unless you have something else to do, like a side event or something, play it out. Why do you pay money to go into the event? No, play it out, bro. Like, I don't mess with excuses. Play it out.
Yeah, I don't like the concept of dropping out. I mean, unless like you said, there's other things to do. Like, that makes sense, but otherwise, like, there's no, like, I mean, you already set aside the time to play, so.
I played Invoker, bro, because I made you guys a promise. I wish to God I never opened my mouth. And I honestly would not say Dark Broly.
That man has the most regrets about that.
I had the most impulsive mouth. I had to watch my mouth, right? So 100% I would have played Rietze. I'm really disappointed. I didn't see it with Rietze. Like, really disappointed. Rietze's last outing, and
I didn't play against Rietze once, and I was just like, well, I had like all the cyborg cards for
I'm
Vegeta.
really disappointed because I'm like, because I shot myself in the foot.
Dang, yeah, I can honestly say I don't think I did
mouth,
either.
and I still playing poker. Exactly my point. I put my foot in my mouth. Jex was like, yeah, I don't know where it was. It was gone. I played Invoker. Listen, my first round I got a tie against Blue Baby. My second and third round, I believe I took 2 L's. I was 0-2. I was X2-1, and I still didn't drop. Like literally, play out the event. I'm telling you, unless you have something else to do. Once again, play out the event. I'll leave it like that.
I think you know what I think it was. I think people just got rid of their VJX stuff once they seen the ban. So like anyone who had the stuff knew that the next set was coming up, and they were just like, oh well, my stuff's gone. So not playing VJX today.
I would have found a way to do that.
I only played Red Broly because I just want to play something different. But like,
I
was about to play Vegeta. Like it was like a day or two before where I got all the cards for Red Broly, like from Juan and Machado. I was just like about to play Vegeta too.
So yeah, this is where I got the heat from because realistically, 17th to 32nd, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pass downs, but then you also got to count the international. So 6 plus 11 is what 7. So realistically, 32 plus 7. There's 49 invites for this event. So this was once again a promo thing because the very next event, a lot of players got upset. But once again, even if you don't want to read,
I'm sorry, but
I'm gonna do it.
You can't get that upset. I mean, honestly, even top 16 is a pretty good stretch, in my opinion, especially with pass downs.
Top 16 in real life is literally you have to have at least 129
Yeah,
players.
like Charles said in the chat, like he placed 26 and still got his invite. Like he played it out, and he got 26 plays and still got his invite from pass downs.
No, I literally literally show you guys because people swear like we're trying to rob people. It's not even like that. I'm like, no. That's not how it is, bro. Let me
like people literally voice that they're upset that it wasn't top 32.
People were super pissed. They're like, it's false advertising. The first one, I'm like, bro, I found the first one. I'm trying to find where's the second?
If they're reading the post, I'm sure you didn't just copy and paste and
you
then
didn't
was
even
just
have to read the post, bro. Look, it's literally right here. You didn't even have to read the post. Cause I know people don't read. Like, these people just see it.
You said people don't read.
I don't know why it's so. People do not read. Look what this says right here. You don't have to read the event. Top 16 USA and top 16 international players getting invited. And then if you decided to read, you would have saw, hey, I even got more plus because Eddie was like, you know what? I'm gonna increase you guys' stuff. After 64 players happened, you guys got another invite. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then what does this one say? Top 16 get invited to the 5K. That's it. That was it. And if you're like, you know what? How did last time was different? And you're like, is it the same? All you have to do is click the event link and read it and see that it stops at top 16.
So that was literally it. Yeah, I mean, you can't get upset just because you assume what the pricing is or what the placement is for invitational.
And this was the end result if you stayed in the event for the last weekend event qualifier. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 2 guys, I believe, on team for get in. We got Eric Hill. Shout out to my boy and Charles Hoffman. I'm playing that shit player. Shout out to him too. That snuck in. And Charles, you see what I'm talking about? You wanted to drop. I know you, Charles. You're like, there's no point with you. Like, I'll play. And I was proud of you because you know what? You literally got the last in the very last one. I'm not gonna even show you guys who are like who is under you. Because if I do, they're gonna think I'm biased because I'm not even gonna go there. But you literally got the last invite. That's it. That's the last invite. A couple slots under you were some highly controversial names that once get it, but you got it, bro, because you stayed into the event. So shout out to you, my boy. And yeah, that's it. That's it. Let me go back to Discord.
Someone asked, talk about cards you should be picking up right now from the set of DB6 for DB6.
For draft box 6?
Let me take a quick look actually on Shenron's. What staples are there? DBS has been moving more towards an archetype thing. So you kind of just like if you want to play the new stuff, you get them all in bunches. There's not as many staples. It's not like a staples type of set, like set 10 or set 11. Was set 11? The one that had like all the counterplays. That one was
Yes. No, I don't even know. I don't even remember at this point, to be honest
Well,
with you.
anyways, it's like the one that had all the unisons and the
Yeah, yeah.
counterplays. That was like obviously you need to buy into that set. I
Right.
don't think set 12 is quite like that
Nah,
in terms
I can
of
agree.
yeah, the
Let's hope is like you get some new leaders, and then I hope you got some old
Yeah,
cards, man, because
it feels
those
more.
prices are
Yeah, set 12
done.
feels more like if you want to play a whole engine or a whole deck, then the whole like there. It's mostly just whole decks. I really don't feel like there's a lot of versatile cards that you can just pretty much consider like normal staples. I think the set is mostly just focused on the core decks that are in there. Because a lot of the cards are not very, or I won't say they're not generic, but they're not very generic. As like the all the counter
Right.
cards that we've been provided in the counter plays and attacks.
yeah.
Speaking
I
of
think
speaking of core cards and core decks, go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
there's like a few unisons maybe that you could pick up, but for the most part, I would say that these are like very archetype specific cards. Yeah, very much so.
But I want to put something out there for everybody sleeping on Mecha Frieza. I honestly don't know where. I honestly think this is one big troll, and I'm just not in on it. People really think Mecha Frieza is not tier 1. I don't know where you guys play test. Like, are you guys just not putting one and two together? It's not my business to put Mecha Frieza list out there. Even though I am an admin and I'm in a Mecha Frieza admin, I don't want to put players' text out there before an event. I will after the event because, like, you can ask these guys before we got on this live team chats. I started playing around the Mecha Frieza deck, and I'm telling you, like, the freeze is just dumb. Every single time I just browse through yellow cards, I'm like, wow. I saw the next yellow card, wow, and then next, like, wow, and like the lights just start clicking. It goes ding, 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 and free, 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 free. You remember I keep telling you, freeze, efficient, efficient. That's going to be in this game. Everything just starts clicking. But another thing I will say, clicks when you have Cell Secret Rare. If you don't have Cell Secret Rare,
Yeah.
I'm not saying the deck is bad, but there's a lot of games that you shouldn't have won and you're not going to win. There's games that you should not have, that you're not going to win, but the Cell Secret Rare will steal you the game. And that's just how it is. So I don't know. At this time and point, if you guys still think I'm trolling, I'm just because I'm not playing the deck. Do not think by any thingy like I'm trying to steer you guys away from the wrong thing. Like, no, I don't think. I mean, personally, me, you can ask my team. I said all the time, I think Dark Road is the best deck ever in its current format. Going into set 11, from set 11 to set 12, I still think it's the best deck. I think under that is Vegex, but I think Mecha stops it. I'm telling you guys right now, if Mecha wasn't a thing, I would be contemplating between playing. But like right now, I would have like a real choice. Right, I don't really want to go with that real choice with Mecha in right now, even though honestly thinking of it, this would probably be the best time to use it before Mecha gets streamlined. Because don't forget, guys, there's going to be a bunch of mechas. That's probably why you guys are going to say it's trash because you're going to see all these janky builds, and he's going to be like, nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. But once, let's say, X player wins, X player gets second, they lose to Dark Broly in the finals, you're going to say, that's that list right there that you need, boy. And that's when the mecha is going to just ching, 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 ching. And everyone's going to be on that mecha hype, bro. So yellow cards are expensive. I don't ever think I could explain that purchase in my life.
Some of the, I mean, some of them are a little bit more expensive because of obviously the hype. But I mean, previously they're good cards. I mean, Bergamo's always been a solid card, and any just about any yellow leader outside of Shinsenran. So, I mean, cards like that and the Universe Assemble is just they're just good cards. So they should be at a decent price in my opinion. Plus, of course, they're draft box cards. So that makes it a little bit.
Need that thing to team full assembled. No lie. I want to be Bergamo.
But someone did have a question regarding. Someone had a question earlier regarding Dark Broly. They said, "Is there any other forms of Dark Broly you guys may be looking into besides the 444 and having Demigra at a high number?"
I don't play Demigra. I tell you that right now. I don't play Demigra. That card I told you was. Yes, I said it was gonna be my sideboard. I'm like, you know what? What's the point of having this in the sideboard? I have new stuff in my sideboard, completely different. I don't think you. Let me make sure the screen sharing and all. I'm gonna pop up my list real quick. I don't think I had any of these cards in my sideboard before. Let me make sure. Yeah, all right. Well, screen sharing is off.
So I mean, I can imagine going into set 12. I mean, you're still playing all four of all the big Brolys, right?
That I will tell you yes. It's similar to my event I played, Dark Broly, in the first one. It's very similar to that list. Just added two new additions. One isn't. I don't even want to tell you that. And you guys are gonna go trying to search the library. And my son must be tired. This guy's trying to fight me to go to sleep. One is obviously the new 7 drop.
Right.
And the other one is a card that you guys will find out. But when I say this card is free, this card is free.
So basically, Demigra is not a necessity in the deck
right now. I don't have Demigra because like the one thing I keep telling you guys about Demigra is you're paying way too much. You're paying the price isn't worth what it does. It doesn't have barrier and it does not have deflect. A lot of this meta, like especially when everything I do now, I base it off mecha, right? Come on, this we're playing Dark Broly. You have to pay 2 for it. You have to warp 5, right? You literally have to pay 2 for your new 7 drop, and you warp 0, and it restands the Broly that you have, and it has deflect. You see what I'm saying? So not only is it has deflect, it's a deflect, and it's a 7 drop. You see what I'm saying? So when they say Dark Broly 6, it is a deflect 7 drop. Deflect 7 drop Broly. I said, okay, cool. You may have called Dark Broly 6 for your Mecha Bears, but this is a deflect 7 drop Dark Broly coming to your face if you don't warp A, B, and C from your hand, your warp, and your drop. So your hand, your battle area, and your drop. It's really good in that aspect. The same thing too. I don't recommend it main deck for Jax. That price is, I can't explain that price. I could understand, yes, it has value and it does this and it does that. But if you play around it, like when I play against my team, right? My team won't fall for bait. I can't bait, like if they're playing, let's say green or whatever it is that could react with Demigra, they're not gonna fall for bait. They'll let me have all my 6 sharks. Like, okay, cool, they're just baiting me till the Demigra hits, and that's when they'll answer. Yes, against randoms, they will fall for the bait. They're like, oh damn, you got me. There's no you got me down here. Like these guys are just waiting for you to say, yeah, you snap. And they're gonna look you straight in the face and say, react. And I'm like, bro, I just worked my drop. I don't even put back 5. I mean, I didn't put back 3. I just worked my drop and I just tap 2 for what? To get got? Nah, man. We don't play those games out
there. I have to admit it. Playing against Blue, these last 2 events, every matchup against Dark Broly, I hold my counter plays for the overwhelms. Because obviously you're not gonna enter the 6 drops and bounce it back to hand.
Exactly my point. They tap 2 and you just laugh. It's like you played yourself. You know what I mean? When that says you played yourself, that's exactly what they do. They play themselves. The card is good. Don't get it wrong. The weak matchup that you use it in, the card is amazing. But now that you have the option of actually replacing the card because you have the new 7 drop, in my opinion, it's not worth it. And like I said, I'm a budget player. Be like, if I could play a $3.99 card and bust your, you know what, compared to a $4 card.
Because I think the biggest thing, I mean, I guess some people probably feel like they get away with it because some decks don't put unisons down early enough or may not see the unison early enough to have the response for it. So they're probably getting it off in most situations. But realistically, especially with how the meta is shaping out coming up, I mean, these unisons are coming out way too early. Like Mecha now has obviously access to a 1-cost yellow on turn 1. Demigra is a green turn 1. Blue is literally the only color that doesn't have blue and red. I think don't have like a 1-cost red that's worth playing just to get access to a counterplay. And when
yellow doesn't even like unison because yellow could just giant ball. It's like, bro, you just pay 2 and then warp 5 to get giant. I'm like, nah, man.
I mean,
bro, you pay this is what it turns, bro. You pay 2 energy. You warp 5 to let them draw 2, fam. Like, come on, bro. Really?
I mean, even with the absence of blue coming up and green having the only relevant out, because obviously it destroys it, I still feel like, you know, especially in Dark Broly, tapping out, it's going to cost you a lot depending on the matchup, you know, because then you're going to have to go through you're going to actually have to start going through your hand. And that's when, you know, you're going to start having to get rid of a lot of cards. And if you can't, you know, finish out your opponent the turn after, then you know, it's a whole nother turn that you have to go having to get rid of more cards. So I definitely think that, like I said, I think some people get away with it and that's why they like it and it works for them. But I can see we're not wanting to play it at all.
Also, like I said, you know how last set you have to base your deck around can this answer a Red Broly? In my opinion, you still have to do it. In my opinion, I thought Mecha could kill Red Broly, but I was mistaken. I played Red Broly. And when it gets a Mecha player, yes, they have some shenanigans they can interact with me on, but the deck is still dominant. The deck will still pound. Like Broly does what it's supposed to be doing, and Mecha is just, oh, I got these cards, they're free, and they're just doing this A, B, and Z. You're gonna get waxed. But I lost my train of thought. I completely lost my train of thought. I'm gonna change his diaper. Continue on.
So I mean, those are just ideas that he had regarding his most recent changes to his deck going into set 12. Obviously, there's cards that he's not going to share. You'll have to see it
the Migru is worth it.
in the event coming up. But I mean, I get, like I said, I definitely see applications for it.
Absolutely broken.
Oh yeah, 100%. Honestly, even against blue, like I've had people drop it on turn 2 and I have no answer, and having to out a 30k in blue is impossible. You have to see your overwhelm, and if you don't, like, it's literally sitting there on the board taking a card out of your hand every turn, which is super obnoxious. So yeah, like it definitely does what it needs to when it sticks. 100%. I won't take that away from the card. I think that as soon as it sticks and it's able to do what it does it well. But I can definitely see where
blindly play it.
Right, yeah, exactly.
When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's bad.
And I think that's where the comment of maxing it out. I don't think it's worth maxing out. In my opinion.
Yeah, you don't have to max it out.
Yeah.
2 or 3 copies, more than enough. I would probably stick to 2.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
First, you just keep it in your mulligan and slam it on turn 2 and ride it to victory.
Yeah, because like I said, in the matches where you're able to resolve it and it not be interacted with, like you're probably gonna win. Because it does too much over multiple turns for you to not be able to get it to stick, especially like I said against certain matchups. Top 3 decks for top 3 decks in set 12.
Broly's and Mecha. And Vajex.
Broly,
he's
Mecha,
like he's the glue. He's the glue holding it together. You know how the triangle is like this? This is red Broly in my opinion. That's dark Broly. This is Mecha, and Vajex is the glue. Because as soon as one of those decks just stop, mainly Mecha in my opinion, Vajex will be like, hey, you remember me, fam? Really punish you. I'm not even trolling. I honestly think Vajex is the best deck if it was not for Mecha. I don't know how else to repeat that. Like, Vajex waxes all the new set stuff. They have main deck, a deck that plays everything for free.
I don't like the Dark Broly matchup as Vajex.
That's what I said. No. I said Vajex is the glue holding the triangle. Because once like any of these decks go, Vajex is like, I'm free.
I don't even like the Red Broly matchup anymore.
Oh, the Red Broly matchup?
I don't even like that anymore.
I mean, yeah, because you be playing something funky. I'm gonna put these free cards out and blow up your free guys.
I mean, the Mad Sand just did. The Mad Sand just made it so you didn't have to do as much. Because the Mad Sand literally came out. It took a guy off the board, which could have been a blocker for Ba. And then when it swung, you were guaranteed a point of damage. And then you were able to, if they didn't have a response, you were able to then try to take another point of damage. So like that's just a lot in one card. Like let's be realistic. Like you losing that, having the consistency of that is just a lot. It's a lot to lose. So I can definitely see.
It must be nice having draft box 6 just, you know what I'm saying, make your deck unbeatable. It just must be nice. Wait till set 3 on it and let's get some support like that, you know what I'm saying? It's not like Vajex ever got direct support. It's all this, let's hit Vajex this time because Gummy needs complaining. Oh, let's hit it again. Let us get some, here you go. Let's make this black stuff and just make it for Vajex. Instead of saying, if your leader is a Saiyan Oni, let it be
they're getting real.
Oh, no, yeah. If you can play that
real
line,
specific.
then Vajex would be insanely good if you could.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, if they didn't fix that thing to where it says Saiyan Oni, oh my good. Like, I can understand these builds like she's running around, but just the Gohanks with Mecha running around, nah, fam. Shit, that's way too expensive. I don't think players see the cards, but I don't think they interpret in their mind how it's gonna negatively affect them when they play Mecha. Like it's gonna cost them more than it is. Like I don't think you guys realize that. Okay.
So someone else asked what cards they should be picking up from the new set or DB6. I mean, we kind of touched a little bit on the new set. Draftbot 6 obviously gave us the unison for Red Broly, the Piccolo, right? Or was that Draftbox? That was the last Draftbox, right? Draftbox 6.
Yeah, that was Draftbox 6.
Obviously, there's the Bergamo also. The one-drop Bergamo came out in Draftbox 6.
No, did it?
Did it?
Oh yeah,
I think it did. Yeah, the one-drop Bergamo, yeah.
I think people should also probably pick up the King Piccolo that comes out for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's Toa Unison.
It's too late for that guy. The Toa Unison too. The Toa Unison is like $5 for long.
Yeah, the board
like
slug stuff is not terrible. If you're playing mecha, when you decide to go with that engine, which is not a bad engine at all, so you can pick that up. Those are like the main ones I was looking at. I think the Toa Unison's gonna get a lot more expensive very quickly, though.
Yeah, I actually see that, especially after the weekend, the webcam event. I could definitely see that seeing more play. It's actually it's not terrible. I think it just, as long as you're playing it properly at the right time with the right amount of energy, I think that it's a very solid card.
See, Baba. What other question we got? Yeah, sleepy.
That's what I was saying. I think that was the last one that we didn't touch on.
If you have any questions, ask now. Forever hold your peace. Wait till Friday.
Trust me, I feel the same way. This man said, "I wish I lived down in Miami to play with y'all boys." Like, honestly, I feel the same way. Listen, I'm up here. I'm in upstate New York. It's dead up here. There's no super. We don't play. I literally get no in-person interaction at all playing this game, and these dudes is all the way down in Florida. It's rough.
Trust me, like, because I don't even live in Miami. I live like probably an hour and a half, 2 hours away. But the thing is, when I do get on there, you learn real quick how to only focus on the meta. Like the rogue stuff, your deck will not. You'll pick a deck that naturally beats rogue, but then your techs, well, you'll really find out their techs or their bust. When you actually bring it down and actually compete, bro, it's like, yeah. By the time you realize it doesn't work, it's too late. You're already signing that match split, bro. That's why, like, we brush off these rogue decks. Not to be mean or anything. It's just we know for a fact it's not gonna work against like our strategy. You're just gonna regret it. We might as well just be honest with you, and you find out the hard way. But sometimes it takes people to find out, bro. I'm not gonna put names out there, but there are some well-known names in this community. I'm not talking about my team. I'm talking about I'm gonna go there. But there's some known names in this community. When I said Dark Broly was wild, they laughed at me. It was like Sing Shinron will beat it. It said this and that. I'm like, Sing Shinron only beat Dark Broly. Like, what? Like, hold on, explain this to me. They really started to try to explain it to me. Talk about how Dark Broly wasn't good. And then later on, guess what? They're coming to Miami. I'll put that out there. And I guarantee you, guess what they're going to be playing? The same that they said, this is not good.
I see.
I ain't gonna put names out there.
Now that you say that, there was quite a few people playing Sin Shenron over the webcam event. When I was spectating a lot of games, I seen a lot of Sin Shenron, and there wasn't any in the top 8, was there?
Has there ever been Sin Shenron? And like, I'm not saying Sin Shenron is bad, but no means it.
Essentially, which is
that's what I'm trying to say.
Everything I played against. So like,
you just have that match.
It's just not gonna do well in a field of Red Broly and Dark Broly. I'm sorry. Like you win game 1 only if you go first against Red Broly.
Andrew, you don't even talk.
You're murdered.
Bro, Andrew, I sat there and explained this. I'm like, I should have to explain this to you. You have wins under your belt. I'm like, bro, are you really doing this or are you trolling me? Full blown discussion of how Dark Broly was not gonna like it's 6 was just superior. I'm like, I just stopped arguing, right? It literally shows me the type of player it is. I'm like, forget it. I'm not gonna say nothing to you. You just gotta let him watch. Let it unfold itself. That's all I gotta say.
Like it's not a bad deck. It just doesn't. It's just not at the same level.
Like I said, when I speak about decks, I speak specifically about matchups, bro. It's never about the player. It's never about it's specifically solo based on the leader and the deck itself. I'm like, bro, that's why I tell you, in my opinion, I think Jax is honestly one of the best decks in this game currently, right now, still. But I will not touch that deck. So I know if I run into Mecha, even though I can play against it, I can compete against it. If I were to play myself playing Mecha, bro, it's not even gonna be close because I understand how to stop with Jax and Mecha. It's just to take advantage of them playing free stuff. That's the best way I can explain it to you without helping you freeze the guys destroy my Mecha.
Right.
I mean, my Vegeta. That's the best way I'm gonna say it. Let's see if there's anything else.
Yeah, Pac-Man. At least you're in Georgia. True. I'm in New York. I'm far.
Georgia have the car guy shop. I thought they had like their own big ass shop in Georgia.
I mean, shoot, must be nice. Like I said, our biggest shop here is closed, and it's been closed for a while since all this started. And our scene is like just pretty much non-existent at this point. So like, and I don't play on tap, so of course I literally use these webcam events as practice. It is so
start
bad.
playing me a webcam, man.
Yo, I'm definitely down. That's what I told Eddie. I was like, yo, everybody's starting to get webcams now because even Andrew wasn't doing webcam. That man was like, nah, we doing the in real events. Then he picked.
I don't know
He got himself set up.
I don't know when it's public knowledge, but the first regionals will be webcam as well. I don't know what they're. I can't talk
I don't know
about it.
if you said that though, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, you're talking about for Bandai?
Edit this on the video.
Yeah, whatever company's in charge of running them.
Yo, I'm dead. The look on your face just says it all.
But whatever company is going to be in charge of things,
I said nothing.
looks like a strong possibility that in March, I'd bet money on it.
He said I bet money on it.
On that note, I
Right.
think we're with it.
No, that's dope. I'm excited to see this things start up again.
Broly win versus Mecha Frieza. Yeah, it's actually a good question, Shiva. Robert's actually showing us Red beats Mecha. I ain't gonna lie. Mecha has a really rough time against, like, really rough time against Red. It's bad. So to answer your question, it's 100. Shiva, it's 100% yes. The stuff you're showing me was even Broly, so it's generic red stuff. So
yeah, I mean, Mecha just can't handle, like, the whole purpose of Mecha is free cast, right?
Oh yeah.
And then you have free cast, but none of your stuff's really that impressive. Like, it's kind of like having bad Aboonings, you know? Like, you'll have a board.
My man, he said
You'll have like a bunch of 15Ks, but you've paid many cards for them. So if you board wipe them, it's really hard to get it back. Maybe Dovale disagrees.
Oh yeah, I can definitely, I can see that. I mean, especially if you're playing something like the Kaioken.
The way you're supposed to play it is just stall, kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Like when all the stuff hits the board is the turn they're dying.
I mean, Red can definitely do that.
Everything before then is just, I'm gonna tap your energy, I'm gonna do this and that, I'm gonna set up my turn, and then I'm going all in.
Yeah, because I think the thing
my
is,
boy said, what do you think about?
That's how you should play Mecha Frieza, in my opinion. That's the most success I've had with it. Tap you out, and then I'm going Unite Assemble.
Exactly how you play it.
You see, my issue with that is
do a lot with Mecha Frieza. I'll tell you guys right now, if you guys play multiple of those one drops, please don't attack. If they're tapped out and they have no one tapping, attack with it first. Attack with something else. Come off the one drop. Play another one drop. Use the ability. I don't think people realize they could loop that card. The only reason I'm putting it out there, I'm still in shock right now.
What card?
I lose a lot of respect for players when I see that Mecha Frieza is overrated. Mecha Frieza is not tier 1. Bro, I seen the craziest. This is a reason why I got banned. Let me put it that way. It's literally like I didn't get banned. I got errata, but there's a reason why I got errata. Like literally, it was broken. This deck is, like I said, I don't know. Maybe your locals don't play test it, so that's why you think it's bad, or that's why you think it's overrated. It's nowhere near overrated. Trust me. The hype it gets is the hype it deserves. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even play the deck. I'm telling you, it's fire, bro. That's not even like it's just nothing. That's just facts. I don't want to steer you guys wrong, saying it's this, but no.
So I mean, it's not something. Yeah, it's not something where like, because I know that a lot of people are like, well, it's, let's just say, the obvious mentions as said before, how the format shapes out. There's Red Broly, there's Dark Broly, there's Mecha, and there's the potential for VJX to do well depending on whether or not you can sustain, that Mecha matchup. And I mean, that's really what it comes down to, as far as the decks that are able to compete. And I definitely think that people are if you honestly can sit there and say that Mecha is not tier 1, then I don't think you've seen the deck in actual action, because
you know what? I would actually be willing to say it's not tier 1 in a regular player's hands.
Okay, I can agree with that. He finished it in a regular player's hands.
I think if you're going to let me finish. I think if you're going to call a deck tier 1, it has to be pilotable where anyone can pick it up, and then that's where I feel like that's what makes it tier 1, right? Like, Anyone can
I
pick this
guess.
up and you can crush with it. With Mecha Frieza, if you do any like what Duvall was just talking about, if you do any of that, where like, hey, turn 2, you just spam your board, and your opponent's like, yeah, whatever, you're at 1 life, crackback. Like you're gonna do that a lot and just lose. Go ahead.
Yeah, Eddie.
I agree, but disagree with you.
Yeah,
I
but
agree with you.
that's kind of
But
difficult
I
because
think
then
what
Red
you're
Broly isn't a
saying
tier
is
1 deck
zero decks.
as
The
well.
reason why I think what you're saying is not tier
I
1.
agree that Red Broly is not a tier 1 deck in a regular person's hand.
Exactly.
We're judging it by that
Because that would mean, by your logic, that would mean there are no tier 1 decks right now. Because you can't just take a Dark Broly deck, go win with it. You can't just take a Red Broly deck. I think what you're saying is correct, but I think that applies to a tier 0 deck where you could have no brain and just win a event
Yeah,
with it.
I think.
There's multiple people that can take these top 3 decks you're saying, won't even make top cut. I'm not even trolling you. Like, it's insane.
I'll give good examples to quantify it because I think Duvall has a good point. For tier 1 and best of 1 now, we know the best deck was Reboot Gohan, right? Like that was the best deck. It got banned because it was so good. Do you have any idea how many times I got beat by people who didn't even know how to like properly combo, and they were just like just throwing out like garbage? They're just like, "I'll just combo here," and I'm thinking to myself, like, "What are you doing? Like, I should be able to beat you, and I can't do it because it was autopilot. You know, like take 2 life, awaken, win the game." That is a tier 1 deck in my mind, or tier 0 because anybody can pilot it. But Mecha is a steep curve, and I think you're going to see a lot of people attend with a Mecha deck who haven't tested it, who have been like, "Oh man, I've got the best list. Check out these Gokus and Bardoks."
No, there's a lot. Well, I think so then if we're judging it by that category for like best of 3, I guess Green Gotenks is an autopilot deck. I mean, I played it. I mean, it's like there's like 2 plays you can
I
make
think
every
the
turn.
last autopilot deck, in my opinion, was the ability to say attack, double strike, infinite combo with the unrated ability. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It took no brain.
Oh yeah, I mean that was.
I think that's what was good about like being honest. Isn't that the part that made Gotenks so good and why so many people played it? Was because it didn't take skill to be a good deck. Like and that's why
Obviously you were gonna lose in the mirror. You were gonna lose against more skilled opponents, but to play the deck, you did not need to be overly skilled.
No, and I think that's it's just like what's the other deck that Legends is always playing? I can't think of the name. Invoker.
No, that's a hard deck to play.
Yeah, that is a really hard deck to play.
Yeah, that's really
in
hard.
Legends hand, that is a tier 1 deck. Okay, and I think we all would agree that it's a tier 1 leader. But if you put that in someone generic's hand, I think it drops to like 1.52.
I got raped this weekend using that deck. I got destroyed using that deck.
And I think that's what's going to be the meta. Like when we went back, I always like to use the big events that people remember. But like when we go back to the last regional this year, Red Yellow was the popular deck. We made an idiot-proof deck. That was the Red Yellow version, and then we added a blue component for the skilled players. And the 2 of us who ran it, we were the first and second place. Like we had the exact same list. He just copied mine by the end of it. So Colin took second, I took first. And it wasn't like I don't think I dropped a single match that whole day. Because we knew it wasn't autopilot, but the best player was going to beat the autopilot players. I feel like Mecha's it's going to be that. Like you're going to see who's playing our version of Mecha. Like, I don't know who's playing it for Foe. You're going to see like a really hopefully on stream, you're going to see this list of like the well-oiled machine Mecha play a generic player. And I'm going to guess one of them is not going to look like a tier 1 deck.
Well, I will say this. I did say in the chat earlier that I think this event coming up, all of the decks require a lot of precision and a very deep knowledge of how to play the decks, the matchups and stuff. So I think it's going to be a very skill-based format. I think more skill-based than the ones that we've seen recently. So I'm kind of excited for that. Like close to what I considered like Surge format, which I thought was a very skillful format.
Right.
And the interactions that went there, I think we're going to see that happen because I think the 3 best decks are Mecha, Dark Broly, and Red Broly, and all of those decks are, I would not say easy to pilot at all. Like not easy to pilot, not easy to get the most juice out of your deck, and you need to do that to win. So I think you're gonna see a lot of tight play, a lot of good games on stream this weekend, especially going into like the top cut later rounds and stuff. People doing well, they're gonna really know their decks, playing well.
Yeah, I can
I
see
think it's
that
gonna be
because I feel like sometimes that's like a common misconception. You look at a deck and because like a deck has a certain line of play, you think that it's as simple as just all right. Well, I know I have to do this on turn 2 or do this on turn 1, so I'm just going to do it. But once you get that matchup where it really requires you to have to play outside of the box, I think that's where this format is going to shape out. Because a lot of these decks, like I said, that triangle format, it's literally it's what's going to be. Like you have to think outside of the box in order to deal with those matchups that you necessarily just can't walk into like you do every other matchup.
Yeah, and I'll give you guys
And
an example. There's like, for
okay.
example, I played against a Dark Broly, and he went first, and his turn 1 was play the 1-drop Black Broly that you can use a ball to go into another one. My turn 1 was Planet Vampa, and on the 3-drop, he goes turn 2, Meki Kabura, name the 1-drop, search a ball, go into the 6-drop, warp my 6, pass. I can no longer start my chain. I have no Broly chain. And then I'm like, I've actually never been put in this position. Like, what is the best? What is my out here? Activating Vampa is useless. If I awaken this turn, I 100% lose. So my turn was literally play a ball, pass. There you go.
That's a good play.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
a really
You
good
kill
play.
me, you
that's
kill me.
strong. Yeah.
But I need to awaken and go all in next turn, and I was able to win the next turn. I ultimate my unison. I did the whole thing because I had 5 energy because he couldn't kill me, and I went and I won. But like, you're gonna be put in those situations where you're gonna be like, dang, like, what the hell do I do here? Like I was literally
Mhm.
like I had to think for like a good like 5 minutes. I'm like, I have no clue what to do, and I was like, okay, that was my best chance, right? So I think that's becomes is going to be difficult for people who like haven't played the matchups and like haven't figured stuff out yet. So I think it's going to be a really interesting tournament for that reason. There's a
I
lot of
think you're
things
going
that
to see a lot more aggro at this tournament too. Like, I mean, generally speaking, it's kind of like what it is in Magic, where whenever you have your Grand Prix on releases, it takes time for everyone to figure out the numbers and get all the promos to be control decks or slower decks. Like, I would expect a lot of launches, a lot of reboot Gohan that I already talked about, the Pycon deck that can kill on 2, the
That boy
Janimba
say
deck that kills on 2.
kill on 2. Now you talking my language, B.
Hey, I played it tonight. I felt bad for him because he had a really cool list and it was fun to test. But just
You
like we
sound like
talked
Robbie
about
that one.
before,
He
what?
said like Robbie did a funeral. He said, yeah, I mean, it killed on 2, but I feel bad for him because he had a really cool list.
I'm
You already know how
dead.
that went.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I've been playing red for a while, so when blue comes down on the table, generally speaking, it's not a fun time for blue. Like I feel like red's got blue's number right now pretty severe. So I don't think he got a game on me, but he definitely put in some work.
Until we get that turn 1 blue unison. When we get that turn 1 blue unison, dog, that Trunks
Hey,
coming down on turn 2 and the counterplay Trunks on turn 1, bro.
Oh,
Listen,
you snap, bro.
Oh,
that's gonna
me
be
and
Bro, that
insane,
I don't know where we get
waiting.
the turn one.
We're super excited for
bro.
the new
I can't
Android
wait.
13.
Oh yeah, so am I. Me and
And Android 13 unison for Android 21 deck.
yep,
Oof.
bro. I'm telling you, like, and it's
is that for the
free.
expansion? Is that for the expansions you guys are talking about? One's in April.
No, I think it's March. I think it's March.
Yeah, I think it's March.
Yeah.
Do we know if are they dual color? Do we know anything about them yet?
I know the unison's blue, but I don't know if there's dual color cards.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. I mean, there's gonna be a whole set before that like happens. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So I mean,
But yeah, that unison, bro. Like, and it comes out for free, I believe, if you get rid of a token. So it's
yeah.
like you
always gonna
literally turn 1 Trunks counterplay and counterattack. Like it's
super.
like having access to that against almost any deck is that doesn't have deflect. It's literally insane. Even just the counterattack. The counterattack on turn 1 literally says that your deck can't do anything if it goes above 1 or 2 energy. Like it's crazy.
Catch you on some questions real quick.
That's where the point of the game where it's gotten. It's like you got to be doing like some crazy stuff for free,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
else you're not competing.
Oh
Like,
yeah, if you're giving some of the most defensive decks earlier access to their defense, then you already know that there's too many cards in this game that are just outrageous because I mean, look where we're at now. I mean, we got 6 drops coming down on turn 1. Like,
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. And I would have
I
never
mean, I
thought
feel
that.
like that's why I'm hoping there will be an errata on some SCRs. Like
Oof.
we already talked about enough about Cell, but not just Cell though. The 7-drop Brawly, where you can discard your hand to attack with quad strike.
Yeah.
I saw that one's up to like $200-$300 as well, and it had dipped to 150 a few months ago. And it's just because right now you can cast it really consistently on 2. Like that's
I think when you speed up the game, you just have to speed up the game both ways.
Yeah, you do.
Offensively and
Yep.
defensively. I think they did too much in one direction. Like
yes, yeah. Well,
Oh yeah, they definitely have.
it's hard too because they've made all the cards that are defensive a little bit more expensive to like get a hold of them. Like if you want to, like what's the draft box red negate that lets you get a plus 10k for negging your cards? Like that's amazing in Brawly, and I feel like no one else plays it. What, Flight of the Grand Eagle?
Yeah, yep.
And it's a cool card, but for what they cost, I feel like this is an expensive card unless it's gone down.
The counterattack
And
trunks.
then what was that?
The counterattack trunks, like that card, even the non-winner ones, I think are like $50-$60 or something like that.
I thought everything went to 100.
Oh, I don't even know. I haven't looked at the prices in a while because I've owned mine since like day one. So, like, I just know that the non-winner ones were like 60, and I mean they could buy our more.
Yeah, they're $95 for regular and $109 for the photo.
Yeah, and I mean even back then when they first dropped, like they were like even the non-winner ones, because those are the only ones that were really being posted because no one had access to the winner ones. Like they were like $100 on release.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean it does suck, and that's.
There's certain cards like you're good. I mean like Yamcha. Yamcha is a card like a 2 of in launch that wants to play it. Just in case you don't have the explosive hand, it's pretty good to drop a Yamcha like after you attack with leader, flip over, draw a card, play a Yamcha, draw a card, pass turn, and then if you get lucky enough that they kill your Yamcha on their turn with an effect, Bulma, do all the Earthling stuff.
Right.
But you'll see, watch Yamcha become a $50 card in a few weeks, months, because there's just you can't get it anymore. It never came out of a pack.
Right.
And so it'll just creep up because you'll be like, oh man, I do want that card. What's it at? Oh, everyone's bought it out. Some store has 600 of them somewhere.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's tough because, fortunately, even after multiple voicing through the community, Bandai keeps providing us with tournament promos that are just necessary. Like they are. Like we're getting all these tournament promos that are just hugely necessary. And I mean, COVID makes it impossible. Like I honestly, like in my end, there's no locals that they're not even getting tournament kits in our area. So like I have to literally buy them online. I have no choice. So I have to spend whatever it is the secondary market puts them at.
Yeah, and I know the prices are pretty severe on pre-order for the next set because every color needs them. Like launch, you got to have those 4 promos to awaken, so flip.
Right.
So that gives you 8 cards. The Wii stack is pretty much unplayable without the promos because you need the Vegeta, and I think the Whis as well, right? There's 2 promos for that one. Piccolo is not a good deck without the promo, and then the blue Vegeta I think is just good in every blue deck.
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really conflicted when I hear these talks about TPs and stuff because I've been playing this thing since set 1, right? And I think honestly, Benna has been listening to the community because when this game first came out, you could ask. We have the first champion, Alejandro Mena. I think this guy, how much did he make? Like, I think it was a stack or 2 of just TPs itself because he got like, I think it was 20. He got somewhere to the range of 20 plus just TPs and sold it all on eBay, made bank. And I want to say set 3-ish, TPs were just like they did nothing. I'm talking absolutely nothing. And locals were flooded with it, like absolutely flooded. A player said these TPs are useless. This, that, and this. Now Benna makes them good again, and now the issue is okay. You're not able to get TPs, but they're going to the locals. Like I said, the thing is, you can't predict.
The TPs are good. Call me crazy, but I think it's like
they're doing a good job on TPs. Like going to the way it is. Like COVID, we didn't know COVID was a thing. Exactly, and I think you can access TPs. The thing is, players don't want to participate in the webcam events. So a lot of the webcam events, they give it to a participation. If you want more, you gotta get top cut, but they don't really give you.
Where? Listen. Where?
They went overboard with the amount of TPs
Bro,
in a set.
I would literally have
Like,
no problem playing webcam events for TPs.
I think that's the problem, Manny. Like, I don't mind there being like good TPs, like Trunks TP,
Right.
Yeah. 18.
But like when there's like 18
one
or
set,
20 different TPs,
yeah,
like
that's
you
wild.
can play a full locals and like have a full locals, and nobody opens the one that anybody needs. And it's
Yeah,
just,
yeah, that is kind of a struggle. Yeah.
I think it should
I
go
mean,
back
I didn't
to
play.
then.
I played Pilaf for a whole season because I just once they announced we weren't going to have what looked like a nationals or anything, I just didn't want to buy, like you said, I didn't want to buy Brawlies back then. And then finally, like a month ago, someone was like, "Hey, do you want to do a trade for your Hatchiyak for some Brawlies?" And I was like, "I do. I definitely want to get rid of this Hatchiyak."
The boy said Hatchiyak for some Brawlies, bro.
yeah, like I'm all for them having like winners promos for people winning regionals.
Yeah, those
like,
are cool and stuff.
Alternate arts for people that win the locals and like TP promos. But I think in general, like you don't need to like suffocate the market with promos, right? Like if there's cards, like I feel like they're putting promos as like cards that are like essential for decks to be played. Like not even just like good cards. It's just like the deck doesn't work without this card. Like the
Well,
Pikey
look at the.
But if you think about their logic, if COVID, let's say COVID wasn't a thing right now, that is a really good marketing strategy to force players to go to their locals and support your locals and make locals actually host these tournaments.
True.
The thing is,
I'm fine with that, but
COVID does exist.
It's tough. It's tough because it's like, okay, so my thing is this. I honestly I feel like what Andrew said. I feel like these cards are so essential because it's like if you really look at it, they're literally using the TP slots to upgrade decks from last set. That's what they've been doing every single set. That after they're like, okay, well, here's what came out this set. Next set, we've got these TPs or these promos or these expansion cards that are for the last set to kind of boost it and make it better. So you'll keep buying that product. But I mean, I understand that it's all a marketing, obviously a marketing thing, and they want people to buy product and participate in tournaments and whatnot. But I'm sorry, but that TP slot definitely just needs to be strictly just alternate arts, in my opinion. You can't put cards in there that are like almost essential for, like you can't play blue without Trunks counterattack. Like you can't play blue in this format without Trunks counterattack. If you're playing blue without it, it's because you're playing something like Janemba.
I feel like that's the important part to not to say that. So I agree with you. I think TPs, just like Andrew said, there's too many TPs, and I feel like they're all too important. Like you have what is there 16 in this set, 12, whatever it is, and they're all good.
God,
like there's a bunch, and they're all really important. But we are playing a collectible card game, and it is about who has the most money is a big factor.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, that is.
I mean, I've never been against spending money, of course. I mean, obviously, even in competitive play, like you have to spend money, because obviously, if a deck is good, it's going to cost money. But I just think that when it comes to the tournament promos, there's still money in alternate arts as well. I mean, that's still a collector's thing, especially if you're giving an alternate art with all the alternate rarity, like it's, let's say the one card is, doesn't come foil. You make it an alternate art foil. People are going to want it, especially if it's a good card or, like let's say Black Man Sand, if it came out as an alternate art with, better foiling than like the event pack, I'm sure people would want it if the art was dope and,
I wouldn't want it.
Well, you wouldn't want it because you're Mr. Common deck, but
my common one.
I mean, like I said, I get that there's a lot of cards in the TP packs too. I guess that would help as well as lowering the amount that are in there.
Yeah, like I think actually like Trunks, like unfortunately the price is so high because it's in a saturated TP market where there's just, like too many TPs, so it's hard to open. But I'm fine with that actually being the design of the TPs. Like I think TPs is great to have just generically good cards for colors. Like Black Mass Sand, you credit life, you can't take it down. Like so like A lot of people want them,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
you have a small pool of them, but you need a lot of them because everybody who's playing that color wants the card, 4 over 2 or whatever. So at least you're chasing the card, so it's going to have a good value behind it. But it's easy enough to obtain that over the course of like from set 11 to set 12, enough of it will be opened where people have access to it. So the price is not going to be so high for so long. Like if you want it
Yeah.
right away, you want it day one, yeah, you're going
Yeah.
to pay $1. But if you want it,
Well,
by the end of the format, hopefully enough locals have fired, enough product has been opened that the card is probably, like 10, $15 at most.
Yeah,
Or
that's
something like
fair.
that.
and
That's fair.
I think a good example of what you're talking about, they could have already done. I'm just checking it to make sure I'm not crazy. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Let me just make sure it's right. Yeah. The launch feminine wilds, that's just for Earthlings that in general. So Hercule can play it, Pan can play it, and I don't know, Pan can't play it, but Hercule can play it, and Launch can play it currently. And there could be future cards, but like it's a very good card in both those decks.
Right.
If we would have gotten more of those, that would have been great. But I can see the Launch. I put in a pre-order bid for these already from someone who had them, and I paid a lot of money for mine. Whenever they come in the mail, they come in the mail. But these are probably going to be $50, $60 cards on release for one deck, but everyone can play it. Like if
Right.
we just got all that support for announcer, who knows if we're going to get more world tournaments someday? And this card would be like amazing for Hercule. Hercule reboot.
Yeah, like for example, like we don't need like the Vegeta and Son Goku Godly Auras or the TP Broly
I
for
don't
this
know.
Broly
That
deck.
Goku
Like that's like
Vegeta. That I don't.
why are
That
these cards that are like so important, or like Revenge Big Bang Attack, or like like get
I
out
don't
of
know.
here. Like
That
this
that
is
Goku.
for
That Goku.
one leader.
That Goku Vegeta though, Saiyan one drop negate. You talking about that one, the counter attack?
No, no, no. I'm just talking about the last TPs,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
Revenge
yeah.
Big Bang Attack for
There was
Baby.
a lot of bad cards in that TP.
Oh yeah, there
Like
was a
you,
lot of bad cards in that TP.
Yeah, and in the midst of it all, there's like cards that you just need to play a deck that came out in the same set. Like
Oh
that's
yeah, I
like
insane.
mean,
Brawley.
well,
We could
yeah.
have had more Brawleys put out, and like we still don't have enough Brawley promos at this point. Like to me, that's crazy. That we had a whole tournament season. We had extra tournaments of webcams, which gave out even more packs, and we still got people being like, "Yeah, I can't play Brawley." The deck's been out for 2 months, and it's still like a $200 in tournament promos.
Oh yeah. To be honest with you, I entered I think just about every webcam tournament in that span, and only one of them I didn't even make top cut, and I pulled not one Brawley. Not one. I pulled not one Brawley at all, and I literally missed
Yeah.
top cut on one event.
So right now the foils are at 50 and the regular at 30, and there's not even that many on there. Like if 3 people bought a playset, we'd be sold out of Brawleys again. No, there's not even enough for 3 people.
That's
Jeez.
crazy.
Yeah, like I mean, so if somebody wanted to, the buying like that's the part that upsets me for the game is that it's a one drop you need. It's not a staple. It's something else. Like it's a core, you know.
Exactly. It's a
I
card.
agree. It'd be nice if those came out more, or like is
Right,
it
but that's
Yu-Gi-Oh who does?
but that's the issue that I was saying. Like they're giving support for decks that are necessary because it's like okay, if we stuck with the original core and played the other one drop, the deck's not as efficient. Obviously, it doesn't work as well as it would with the TP. That's the same thing for baby. That the 2 cost baby extra card, like that card obviously is good in baby because of obviously how the deck plays. And it was very necessary. Nobody wanted to play baby unless they had that TP at the time. Mind you, baby, I mean obviously it's not performing, so that's besides the point. But it's just the idea that these cards were so necessary for the deck that like people didn't want to play them without it. So it's like when you're sitting there and you're like, damn, like I want to play this deck, but I have to get this TP. It's like, it's tough because even at the time they were expensive when it first came out, and now look at them. It's like
Yeah,
what, $10? Not even.
yeah. Well, and it's weird too because the last set, to my knowledge, sold out from distributors. So we probably won't get any more support for Red Brawley or Baby or any of those anytime soon. I'm really curious to see what happens with this set for like long term, like launch. Like I love her already, but I'm probably gonna keep, even if she underperforms, all the launch cards because I expect
Oh, anything
that.
that says Earthling on it.
Well, no, not because of that. What I'm saying is, I expect there to be a power booster set.
Oh yeah. A TP or something. Yeah.
Well, something in like March or April, I have this feeling Bandai is going to get a message from the distributors being like, "Hey, we still got a lot of set. What are we into 12?
Yeah.
We can't get rid of it. No stores want it." And looking at how many people have like cards up on TCG, like the prices seem like they're going down fast. Like they don't. We haven't had pre-release prices this cheap before. Like these are like we're talking $4 SPRs are on here right now.
Right.
So people aren't going to want to buy a bunch of boxes. Inventory is going to sit. So then it wouldn't surprise me if they're like, we got what was it, Parasitic Menace to make Baby Good, and all
Right.
these little promos that made the deck go from being like pennies to a few $100s overnight.
Oh yeah. So we can definitely expect Bandai to be like.
Is that
I'm
they
sorry,
went so overboard with the with some of the archetypes on the previous sets that they finally released a set that has like fair cards, and they're just it's like okay,
It's
useless.
You're right too because everything's so much more.
I'm passing out. Catch up with them. I guess on Friday or Saturday at the event.
Yeah.
Later,
All
homie.
right. Peace.
All right, we'll close it out shortly then.
Cool. You want to play any games?
Yeah, good talk, guys. Night.
Come on, Figs. You know you want to play.
I can't at the moment. I gotta get everything else. I gotta get the wife situated. She was waiting for me out here for me to finish, but definitely appreciate everyone tuning in. I mean, we try to cover as much as the questions that we can. I think we answered pretty much just about everything. So I'll go ahead and we'll get this closed out. Definitely catch everybody at the event this weekend. Like I said, Miami. I personally won't be there, but obviously most of Team FOE will, because we're pretty much all stationed out in Florida. So definitely keep up with the PPG page, because there should be a link for the Twitch that'll be going up for the stream as well. So definitely check that out. That event should be very interesting. It will include set 12, so you will see anything from set 12, anything from the new set, including Mecha, and anything that anyone may be wanting to anticipate for the format. Like I said, you'll have access to seeing how those decks perform this weekend. But appreciate everybody tuning in, and check out our videos. This will definitely be uploaded to YouTube as well. So if you guys missed anything or came in late, definitely check it out. But if anything, you guys have a good night. Appreciate you tuning in.